This was the hardest decision of my life. Hi, I'm Danny and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be discussing why I decided to homeschool my boys. I am the mom of three boys. I have an adult son. I have a seventh grader now, and I have a third/fourth grader. But today's video is all about why I decided to homeschool my boys. I decided to homeschool my two youngest boys. Well, let me back up first. I have always considered myself an after schooler, and if you don't know that term or you're not familiar with that term, let me tell you what that term is all about. An after schooler is someone whose children attends full-time school. However, after school and even on weekends, you may decide to introduce your kids to different school subjects, reading material, additional help and practice with work. So basically, you're a part-time homeschooler. So in actuality, I have always been a homeschooler at heart. It's just that I was either too scared, too nervous, didn't know how, or wasn't sure if I can do it. So now I am what you call a full-time homeschooler. And let me tell you how that all began. Well, you may consider me a pandemic homeschooler. At first, I didn't want to embrace that term, but hey, that's who I am. I started homeschooling full-time during the pandemic. And the reason why I decided to homeschool during the pandemic is because my middle son and my youngest one were attending preschool and third grade during the pandemic, and they had to do what they call virtual schooling. Well, virtual schooling wasn't working out for my third grader. He needed actual books. He was falling behind. He wasn't able to focus. It didn't even seem to me like as if the teacher or the other kids could focus on the virtual schooling. It was always glitches, computers shutting off, can't hear you, can you hear me? Let's go back to this. Where did we leave off? It was just too much of that. And I noticed that he was not learning anything, and I was so scared and nervous that he would fall behind that I made a decision 2 weeks into virtual schooling, and this had to be March, or no, maybe it was already April of 2020, to pull him out. One day while he was doing virtual school, he asked the teacher a question. She couldn't really answer it. It's like he was even more confused, and I was looking at my child. He is sitting here, 8 years old, struggling, someone who always loved school, starting not to like school. And I just walked over to the laptop and shut it down. And that was the last day he attended virtual school. That next morning, I went straight to the school and I signed him out for homeschooling. So we decided to homeschool for the remainder of that year. So come fourth grade for this particular child, and for the youngest one, we decided to continue to homeschool. We weren't at that time not confident or didn't feel safe with sending our boys back to school during the pandemic. Even though the pandemic during that time, they was doing what they call a flex schedule, 3 days in, 2 days out. So we knew with the pandemic going on and that schedule that our boys were not going to be able to concentrate on school. So we decided to continue to homeschool. And then we homeschooled throughout that year. Well, what we noticed throughout that year was that our boys were flourishing. My youngest one, my kindergarten at the time, was reading way above his reading level. His comprehension skills, his math skills, everything was above grade level. And what we also noticed is that the middle boy was also flourishing. He went from struggling, not able to focusing a little bit better, not quite completely, but it was getting better. And we noticed that his reading was flourishing as well. So now here comes fifth grade. Now we're going to put the boys back in school, right? Nope. We decided that homeschool was working out for our boys, and we decided that homeschooling was now a lifestyle for us. Everything we did now revolved around our lifestyle and our choice of homeschooling. We now were able to do field trips with the kids. That was during a time where other kids was in school, so we was able to take vacations and do real field trips. We were able to teach our kids things that they weren't going to learn in that particular grade level at school. So it allowed for us to cater our kids, that's the boys back there, to cater our kids' education for their individual styles. So homeschooling became, like I said, a lifestyle. So every year now we decide whether now we're going to send the boys back, and every year so far we decided that no, we're going to continue the homeschooling. Homeschool has become a lifestyle. Homeschooling fits our family, and it's the best thing for our family, and right now we will continue to homeschool. So to answer that question, why we decided to homeschool, we decided to homeschool because homeschool was the best choice for our boys. So that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Until next time, see ya.